Hey everybody, it's Alex, the founder and CEO of Motoroso.com, your dedicated mods marketplace. And today we're in the studio to talk about some of the most popular exhaust mods you can make on your Nissan 350Z. And there are quite a few because the VQ35 engine is pretty choked up and restrictive from the factory, and you can unlock some pretty serious power and sound from this engine with the right combination of parts. And there's three major areas of the exhaust system that you can modify. You got the exhaust manifold or the headers section, the catalytic converter or test pipe area, and then the catback exhaust system. With the right combination of parts and a proper tune, you can unlock over 20 horsepower. And we're going to do a deep dive on each of these different sections. Now, we know there's a lot of information out there in the world. We do our best research to make sure that you get the good information that you need. But if you think we've missed anything, you want to add anything, please don't hesitate to add it to the comment section below. We love it when you join the conversation. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let's jump right in. One of the biggest opportunities for performance and power gains out of your exhaust system is going to be by replacing that stock exhaust manifold with a set of proper tubular headers. This is going to maximize the gases getting away from the engine and uncork the power that's been restricted. Now, if you live in a state that doesn't require catalytic converters or you just don't give a shit, one of our first recommendations is going to be the ISR Performance long tube headers. Now, these are long tube headers. They go straight past the catalytic converter and connect right up to a catback exhaust system, and they only cost $540. So not only is this going to be one of your best performance gains, but it's also going to be one of the easiest to install. Additionally, this product is known for having really good clean fitment. This isn't the easiest of install jobs, so it's going to make a little tricky install that much easier. Now, you can reuse your O2 sensors. You will have to extend the wires to make those work. Now, ISR also knows that 350Z owners like to ride low, so they've added extra ground clearance at the collector to make sure you don't go dragging these headers over speed bumps. It's also made out of 304 stainless steel, one of the best materials you can ask for in exhaust systems, and it'll unlock 15 horsepower. So these are a great value if you're okay with going full race and eliminating that catalytic converter. Another great option is going to come from one of the best exhaust manufacturers in the industry, and that is Borla. They make a set of short tube headers out of 409 stainless steel that are going to produce about 10 horsepower gains, and they're only going to set you back around $700. Now, these are short tube headers which are going to connect directly to your stock catalytic converter, a set of high flow cats, or a full catless test pipe, which we'll talk about in a moment, and we'll put a link to that in the description. A little further up the food chain from a price standpoint is going to be the Tomei equal length short tube headers. Now, these are known for making the most mid-range power gains. They're also the lightest, but they also are most popularly known for the sound they put out. This is a really nice, dry, racy sound that you're going to get out. When people look for that nasty sound, this is going to be the choice, and they're going to set you back around $900. And at the top end of the premium spectrum is going to be the PPE equal length long tube headers. Again, you're going to be eliminating your catalytic converter or test pipe there, and it's going to set you back around $1,400. So at least you're saving money on having to buy that mid pipe. But these are going to give you the best mid-range and top end power gains of about 10 horsepower. They're made from 304 stainless steel, and they're available with a special ceramic coating called Jet Hot that helps with eliminating thermal performance loss. At the top end of the range, it's a pretty penny, but these are going to be one of your most premium products with the best quality of craftsmanship. All right, moving on from the header section, let's talk about the next section of your exhaust, and that's the catalytic converter. If you live in a state where you need to retain a cat, you just don't want necessarily all the sound that's going to come from eliminating the cat, or you don't want to poison the air that we all breathe, consider a high-flow catted pipe here. Now, high-flow catted pipe's just going to have a low CPSI. That's cells per square inch. I'm going to show you a little graphic here, and you can see that the low CPSI catalytic converters work exactly the same way. They've just got more openings so they can flow more gases. That means more power and more sound from your catalytic converter. One of the best values you'll find in the industry is going to be the Kinetics High Flow Cat, which is only $380. But for around $450, you can upgrade to the Berk Technology High Flow Cats, which are recognized as having one of the better, more tighter tones in the exhaust system. So if you're really into sound, consider bumping up to that Berk. Now, Invidia is one of the best brands in the industry, and they make a high flow cat made from really high quality materials that is about $600, and that's going to mate really nicely to their N1 catback system, which we'll talk about a little later in the video. One of the best bangs for the buck in the entire exhaust system, if you're only going to do one thing, make it a Catless test pipe to replace your catalytic converter. This is an open pipe and it doesn't have all those expensive materials in the catalytic converter, so it's dirt cheap, and some manufacturers claim up to 10 horsepower gains here. It's also going to unlock a lot of sound. Now you got to look at resonated versus non-resonated Catless test pipes, because this can make your exhaust very raspy and can introduce drone to the system. So if you don't want drone, consider a resonated pipe, because that's going to make sure it keeps that sound under control, not quite as racy. But we got a few good options we'll recommend. ISR provides a great resonated test pipe for only $235. Now, if you can live with the drone, it is known to have a little bit of it at wide open throttle, but it's also known to have a deep tone throughout the exhaust, so it's a pretty good option if you can live with that drone. Berk Technology has an offering here as well, offering two different pipes. They have a non-resonated version for only $160, and for $225 you can get a resonated pipe. Both have O2 sensors, which is nice because you can move your O2 sensors down and keep that in the system, which helps eliminate those check engine lights. Another great product is made by AAM, and that's a non-resonated pipe that they claim will gain you 10 horsepower. Whether or not anybody's seen that actually in the field, add that in the comments section. They also make a resonated pipe, but those are going to set you back $400. And one of our favorite options is the Invidia non-resonated test pipe. Now, you're going to worry about non-resonated being loud and drony, but because you want to mate that to their Invidia N1 system, which we'll talk about in a minute, that has a resonator built in. So it's made to work with that, and it has no O2 sensor, and it's only going to set you back around $250. We like this option a lot. Link in the description. Moving on to the last part of the exhaust system, and that is the catback exhaust. This is one of the most popular mods people do on any car, and there are so many options in this area. We couldn't possibly talk about all the exhaust systems for the 350Z. We're just going to call to attention a few of the ones that we like the most and that we think are some of the best bang for the buck. One of our favorite systems, and we've mentioned it a few times, is the Invidia N1. Now this is a true full catback exhaust system. It has a resonated mid-pipe and then dual exits with dual mufflers. This is gonna really help control the sound and the drone of the exhaust system, and your 350Z can get raspy and drony. This system sounds excellent, and for only $700, it's made out of 304 stainless steel, and it's one of the most popular options in the industry. Now, if you do want to go loud and you want the raciest sounding exhaust and you like saving weight, one of your best options is going to be the Tomei Expreme tie. The system's going to cost you around $1,000, but the entire thing is made out of titanium and it only weighs 13 pounds. So this is going to be the lightest system you can get. Now, it's a single exit, single pipe. It has a small resonator and a small muffler, so it's loud, it's light, and it's super easy to install. The next catback exhaust system we want to mention is the Borla S-Type. Now this is one of the top exhaust manufacturers in the world, as we mentioned earlier with their headers, but this is their true dual catback exhaust system. Unlike the Tomei and the Invidia, which retain the Y-pipe that comes after the test pipes, this Borla system eliminates that Y-pipe. So their dual pipe system goes right all the way up to the test pipes, and then you've got a resonated mid-pipe on both sides, and that goes to dual mufflers and dual exit. This is going to be their moderate sounding exhaust system. It's going to really help control the raspiness and the drone, and they guarantee no drone out of these systems. As you'd expect from a manufacturer like Borla, the whole system is made out of 304 stainless steel. It's a very clean install, and it's going to set you back around $1,200, and they claim up to 15 horsepower gain just with the catbacks. Pair that with their headers and you're looking at almost 30 horsepower. Last up on the list of catback exhaust systems is the AAM Competition, another true dual system just like the Borla. It's going to eliminate that Y-pipe. This is a 2.5-inch exhaust system, extremely popular among the most high-powered applications. People that are doing turbos and superchargers and chasing that 500 horsepower number, this is the system that can handle that. It's going to set you back around $1,100, $1,200, so it's a premium price product, but it's going to stand up to the test of time and provide the performance gains. They claim about a 15 horsepower gain just on this one system, and of course it's made out of 304 stainless steel. Now, we recommend pairing all of these exhaust systems with intake modifications, and we've made a separate video about that. Check that out there. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and check us out at Motoroso.com, because we're always here to help you find and buy the best parts at the best prices. Thanks for watching.